Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Hey everybody, this is Michael J. Maher with another episode of Referrals Podcast. Real people, real stories, real referrals, and I'm telling you, real results. I cannot wait to share today's story with you. Can a morning ritual change your life? Can you change your life in 30 mornings? Yes, you can. I can't wait for you to hear that story today. I'm telling you. I have to give a shout out though. My shout out today is to Lee Schiff. Lee Schiff actually referred our speaker today, and Lee has been a coaching client with us for quite some time. She is a rock star real estate agent out of the Atlanta, Georgia area, and she made sure that this happened and told us the story of Lindsay. And after talking to Lindsay, I can't wait for you to hear this story. I can't wait. Now, I'm telling you, Lindsay took our 30 minute, I wish it was a 30-minute challenge, 30 mornings challenge. And the next one that we're going to have is going to be April. You can check it out at 30ams.com, 30ams.com, or 30mornings.com. And our next challenge, if you want to get involved with one of our 30-day challenges, our next challenge is the March Magic Challenge. You can check it out at marchmagicchallenge.com. What is a challenge? It is a 30-day challenge where something that will take you 15 to 30 minutes a day, and it's small, it's easy, usually it's free, but by doing it, you get the cumulative effect over 30 days of a better you, of a better business, of referrals, of whatever it may be. Check out the marchmagicchallenge.com. A simple task every day to grow your business in March. Can you make it? marchmagicchallenge.com. Today's guest, I'm telling you, I'm very excited to have Lindsay Young on. She grew up in Chicago. She was fascinated by the architecture of the big city and the world of real estate in general. But she was a Southern girl at heart and decided to attend the University of Alabama, Roll Tide, and major in finance with a specialization in real estate. She has a degree in real estate. Come on now. After graduating in 2014, Lindsay moved to Atlanta, Georgia, where she began working with one of Atlanta's top real estate and producing teams, the Schiff Real Estate Team, with Michael and Lee Schiff, where she has perfected her sales, communication, organizational skills, and is a listing specialist with them. Lindsay loves Buckhead, which is in central Atlanta area, and has lived there for the past 5 years. In her free time, she enjoys traveling, running the Beltline, which is a trail around Atlanta, essentially, eating at great restaurants, and watching football, of course. Without further ado, let's bring on our guest on the Referrals Podcast today, Lindsay Young. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Can you change your life in 30 mornings?
Absolutely.
So you just completed the 30 mornings class, literally last month. Tell me about why you signed up in the first place. I think that's the root of it all, is like, how did you even find out about it, and what made you decide to sign up?
So I wish I could tell you that I saw your email come through. I believe it was like the end of December, and I immediately signed up, and I was super prepared for the first class, but unfortunately, that's not how it went. Lee, who is my listing partner and a huge mentor in my life, she actually forwarded me over the email the night before the class started.
Wow.
And said, I think you're going to really like this. I've already signed up. If you're interested in doing it with me, let me know. I truly think this is something that could change your life. And I didn't see it until the next morning. And I saw the date, I saw the time, and immediately I was like, oh shoot, I missed it. So I was like, I guess I'll just have to catch the next one. So every Monday, our team does our team meeting, and we always start off with a win. So Lee went first, and she was like, my win is that I signed up for 30 mornings. It was just the first class, but I'm already feel so inspired. I'm loving the collaboration with everybody, and I'm really excited for this journey. So I chimed in. I'm like, I can't believe I missed it already. I can't wait to hear how it goes. Let me know. And she was like, well, you only missed like one day. There's 29 more to go. There's still time to sign up. So I reread the email that you sent over, and it felt like it was speaking directly to me. I remember in the email it said, are you looking to maximize your days so you can live a more purposeful life? And that was something that I've always been wanting to do, but I just didn't know where to start. So I immediately signed up. I listened to the recording, and since then I never missed a class, and the rest is history.
I love it. And so I'll tell you, so we have a lot of people who are in marketing and sales who listen to this podcast as well. And something that is very subtle here and kind of happened behind the scenes from our aspect that I think marketing people should notice is that, you know, we invited everyone who had signed up for the class, in this case, like Lee, we invited them to invite a friend, right? Or two. And that bring a friend or invite a friend strategy is very effective. In some cases, doubling your class size or doubling the number of sales you have in something just by them inviting a friend. And it actually has a huge benefit for the person who's inviting the friend as well, because when they have an accountability partner, they're more committed. When they have somebody in their office or they have somebody in their house or they have somebody, you know, that's a friend of theirs that's going through the class, they both tend to show up, which is better for everyone. So there's that. And then the other thing I want you to notice is Lee is a coaching client and she has a morning huddle. And I am such a huge, it is amazing to me how many teams don't have morning huddles and what they're missing out because they're not having a morning huddle. I mean, you don't have to do it every day. You can do it Mondays and Fridays. You can do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can do it, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it may be, but you should have a morning huddle because of just, and you got to start with the wins. We used to call it goose gab, you know, start with kudos for a friend, kudos to somebody, and start with your win. So that's something that is a strategy that everybody here could literally, in fact, if you guys work at a corporate setting and you're doing a Zoom meeting, don't be afraid to stand up and just say, hey, you know what? How about everybody shares their wins from this year so far? And have everybody share their wins, see what happens to the meeting. Watch what happens. The energy will go up, the positivity will go up. It's just a great way to start. And then how about this? She's late. Here's what a lot of people think. I missed the first day. I can't go to any of it. Right? But instead, it's like we engineer our 30-day classes where if you really miss the first week, you can catch up because they're small. They're little things that you can do to catch up. But the one thing I have to shout out here, Lindsay, that I love about it is you never missed a class, right? Right from the very first.
Never missed a class.
Never missed a class, which is like, that is like, that's the thing, right? I mean, it's like, no matter what, never miss twice and no more excuses, right? NMW, NME, NM2X, right? So it's like, I love that you did that. And so, all right, in the class, we cover the 7 areas to a great morning ritual, which is savers, which is silence, appreciations, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and then scribing or journaling. You know, which one has made the biggest difference for you out of those 7 elements?
So they've all made a huge difference for me. I just want to start off by saying I couldn't even remember the acronym. I mean, this was all so foreign to me. I was like, what's A? What's V? Like, I was like, what is all this? So needless to say, I didn't start any of them in my life routine, what have you, until 30 mornings. But the one that's made a huge difference is appreciations. And that's one that I find myself showing up throughout the day. In real estate, it's an emotional roller coaster. And in times when I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling stressed, my brain automatically clicks on and is like, but remember, you're grateful for this and you're grateful for this. So before, I was letting the outside world control my inside world. And in utilizing appreciations, I'm having more control over my reactions, and it's been really impactful.
I love it. And for those of you that are listening, a great thing to do is each and every day just do 5 appreciations. I appreciate blank because blank. And then another great concept on this is that like something happens that maybe isn't perfect. Just say to what can I appreciate about this? And what will I appreciate about this? And at the time, that's going to be really tough. But just saying those questions at the time, get your brain working for the next 7 days, 8 days, 10 days. And then what's going to be amazing is some epiphany, some brilliance, something going to happen that is actually going to make it's like, oh man, that client didn't go with us. And then you're like so disappointed, it's a great how, whatever it may be. And then 7 days later, you get a better opportunity that you would not have had time for if you were doing all of that. And it just like, I am such a believer in appreciations and starting your day that way and continuing throughout the day. I love that. Which one was, I always ask this one, like which one out of the savers was the hardest for you?
Believe it or not, it's been reading. And it's not because I don't enjoy a good book or don't know what to read. I got the app Audible, which is an audiobook app, and it gives you a couple credits per month for you to download different audiobooks. I have a whole library full of books, but the hardest part was finding or incorporating it into my morning routine. I couldn't find the right spot and I kept moving it around. And so that one was the one that if I were to forget one, it would be reading. And I started off like after I was done exercising, I was like, okay, I'll listen to it while I'm in the shower. And then the shower would end and I'm like, I don't even know what I just listened to. Like I was like tuning out. So then I was like, okay, when I'm driving to my first appointment, I'll put it on. But if I had to use GPS, the way the app works is once your GPS tells you to do something, it will pause the audiobook. Yeah. And so that was then testing my patience. And then I was finding myself doing affirmations and appreciations because I was getting frustrated. So I finally realized it's when I'm getting ready and instead of listening to music, it's just the discipline now of listening to the audiobook. So it's still a challenge, working through it, but yeah, reading hasn't been easy.
Everybody always has one. They always have one. Like it seems like appreciations, affirmations for some people come easy, the visualization, the exercise, all that. There's always one that it's just like it's just like, man, how do I get this in? How do I make this happen? And for me, for a long time, it was exercise. And then it was like, but I read really well. And then I started getting involved with podcasts like this. And now I walk and listen to a 25 to 30 minute episode, and I'm getting both in at the same time, and it worked. Then when I get back, I'll journal or write down my notes, and sometimes I'll even have to stop and do a note on like, oh my God, that's so good, and I'll do do a verbal note. So I love that. So I guess let's get into kind of the results of everything. How do you feel like you changed as a person? Do you feel like you changed your life in 30 mornings?
100%.
So how? How? What has changed? What do you feel is different about yourself? By the way, you do have an energy about you, right? I don't know if you had that before, but there is a glow there. For those of you that are listening, maybe it comes out, but those of you that are watching on YouTube, like seriously, she glows. She's like on fire. Like you're on fire.
It's 30 mornings. I'm telling you.
Who were your teachers before I get too far into this? Who were your instructors?
Polly and Angela.
Polly Dominich and Angela Gribbins. There's a big shout out for you.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes. I mean, so I guess the best way to answer that question is understanding what I was doing before 30 mornings. And looking back at it, I mean, I'm so embarrassed, just like of my habits and what I was thinking, so when I started, no nighttime preparation. And that was one of my biggest aha moments that Polly and Angela's taught us is in order to have such a successful morning, you have got to prepare for the night before. So I was going to bed before 30 mornings at like midnight, 12:30, watching probably something on Bravo, who knows? And I would set my alarm like an hour early. So I had enough time to snooze. because I was a big snoozer. I would snooze multiple times. And then as soon as I got up, the first thing I would do is look at my phone. And whatever was on my phone would dictate my mood for the day. And it was like a fire drill in the morning. I would like jump out of bed. I'm trying to make coffee. I'm trying to get ready. I'm trying to get myself out the door because I didn't give enough time for me to get ready. And I was finding myself serving people as soon as I woke up in the morning instead of focusing on myself. So in starting 30 mornings, I have major decision fatigue, which means if I have to make too many decisions in the morning, I'm not going to do it. So the biggest game changer for me is preparing the night before, which means laying out my workout clothes, making sure there's a glass of water by my bedside table, having my coffee ready, this journal with a pen. I mean, doing as much preparation as I can. So when I wake up in the morning, it's just automatic. I just go through my routine. I don't have to make any decisions, which means there's no excuses. So,
and it happens, right? It happens faster. It happens. And I will tell you that we also have something called Sweet Dreams. We have a Sweet Dreams 30-day challenge, which is on the Sunday night ritual and the nightly ritual, which sets you up for the morning rituals. And that's where Polly and Angela learned about, man, really to set up the mornings perfectly. It's really, man, take 10, 15 minutes the night before just to set yourself up for success. And you don't have to make all those decisions early in the morning, when you're a little groggy or whatever it may be. It happens on autopilot. And if it doesn't happen on autopilot, it's not going to happen at all. So I love that. I love that you noticed that, right? I mean, I just love that you incorporated that and made it happen. And, so all right, we went from kind of like chaos and going to bed late. And the thing that I want people to know about 30 mornings is that it's not about getting up earlier. It's about getting up better. And that's the difference, right? This is not the 5 a.m. club. This is not the 3:30 a.m. club, right? You don't have to get up at 5 a.m. for 30 mornings, right? We have classes from, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., right? But it's one of those where I love that you're waking up better. So what has waking up better, done for you? What has it done for you personally? What has it done for you professionally?
Personally, it just gives me a lot more clarity throughout the day. I'm not waking up all scrambled and flustered. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself the attention that I need just to relax for a second. And in doing that, it makes me have a lot more energy. It makes me more positive, more happy, lively. I mean, not just for myself, my friends, coworkers, clients, everybody. And then I would say in the business world, just incorporating these savers, if the more you think about them, the more they really do show up throughout the day. So when I have a listing presentation, just taking a moment to visualize how that's going to go. When I am feeling super stressed, just taking a moment to practice some meditation. Like I mentioned before, if I'm feeling annoyed or frustrated, reminding myself what I'm grateful for. And if I'm not having a lot of confidence, just like going over my affirmation. So that was the biggest thing. I thought it just had to be in the morning, but really it's just throughout the whole entire day. And it gets easier. At first, I remember saying to Polly, I'm like, I don't think I'm doing this right. Like affirmations sound really weird. And like, am I doing my appreciations right? Like, can you look over? And he was like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it. And it all falls into place. And he reminded us like 1 degree tweaks. So instead of trying to like take it all on at once, just like every week we focused on a different saver. And it truly, it all just comes together. There's no magic behind it. You just have to keep doing it, even if you think you sound weird or you don't know what you're doing. And yeah, then it naturally just comes together and your brain just reminds you to start doing them.
So I've noticed, right? Who else has noticed, other than you noticing the change in your life? And that is major league. That's, significant that you're seeing better results professionally. You're seeing better results personally. Has anybody else noticed?
Yes. So they obviously, aside from being more positive and happy, I think they just noticed my commitment to this. Polly reminds me that this isn't just a course, this is a whole lifestyle change. And a funny story. So, like you'd mentioned, I graduated from the University of Alabama and
Roll Tide. Oh,
Roll
sorry.
Tide. So, for those who don't know college football,
Oh,
we
geez.
happen to be pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
And
They won
we
the
were in the
national championship last year for the 7th time. So yeah,
yes.
yeah, really.
So we were in the national championship game, which for some reason it falls on a Monday, and it happened to be like 8:30 at night on a Monday, and it was the Monday after. So it was a week after this class started. So I'm only a week in. And we all make plans to go out and watch this game, and spoiler alert, we end up winning. So there's just a lot of continued celebration.
Yes.
And this game, I mean, truly, it was well past midnight. And I thought in my head, I'll be fine for the morning. I'm having fun with my friends. And the next morning, not only was my mood monster screaming, it was just yelling at me. I mean, I couldn't do anything. I made it to the class. I'm pretty sure I was laying down for it. But I couldn't do any of my savers. I probably practiced silence, I'm sure of it, but I couldn't exercise. I couldn't do visualization. I had no affirmations, and I felt terrible. I mean, my whole day I felt, off, and it was bad. So after that, I made a commitment, and I said, I can't participate in all these activities. I really want to take this seriously. And this is a habit I'm trying to build. So my friends, hey, it's happy hour. Hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do, and said no to everything, especially during the week, because I knew I had to wake up and do this. And if I decided to go out with them or do activities with them, I would feel terrible in the morning. So I think they definitely noticed my commitment, and I mean, they appreciated it, and they continued check in, and it's great.
And isn't it interesting that you're saying no to some of these happy hours? It doesn't mean we can't do a happy hour, right? Happy hour starts at 4 or 5 and we get done at 7, right? We can make it home in time to make sure that everything's kind of set up. And, it doesn't mean we're party poopers. We're out before the party is pooped out, right? So it's one of those where, I mean, do you think that you're saying no to some of these happy hour opportunities actually made you more referable?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is that? Let's talk about that.
I know, that's actually a really good question.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought about that, but you said more referable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like sometimes saying no, they're like, no. And they're like, what? No, why not? And you're like, well, I'm taking this class, by the way, is 30 mornings a business class or a personal growth class in your opinion?
100% a personal growth class.
Yeah.
It's like that saying, don't put the cart before the horse. You got to work on yourself.
Yeah.
And it spills into business, but it's definitely I did not sign up for this to be a business class. I signed up for it to work on myself.
Yeah, but it increased your business. That's the thing, right? Is that's the thing I love about the 7L system and what we do here when we're building businesses based on love, generosity, and appreciation is some people are coming in, they're like, parts of this is self-growth, right? So what happens when you self-growth is that you become more referable, right? And when you become more referable, you're more attractive and people refer you more business, right? You glow, you're strong. You're strong enough to say no to a happy hour and say yes to a happier life, right? And that's what you are doing. And I'm guessing that your friends were impressed by the no. They were impressed by your commitment to the business and to your self-growth. And by doing that, I mean, that makes you more impressive. That makes you more referable, right? It's like, you know what? She's really committed to this, and I'm going to refer her business because I know she's going to take care of her friends, right?
Right.
So what would you say to someone that is thinking about taking 30 mornings?
Just do it. I promise you never regret waking up early. You never regret doing any of the savers, and you will not regret doing 30 mornings. Not only are the coaches amazing, shout out to Polly and Angela, but it's really cool because you get to interact with so many different people every single morning. And we were blessed. I mean, we had close to like 45, 50 people consistently that you're able to collaborate with. And everyone's at such different stages. You have people who have taken this class like 3 times and they give such great advice, such great tools. And then you have people like me who were just trying to figure out what this acronym means and how to incorporate it into your life. So it's really awesome to have that accountability, but also that collaboration and people just sharing, I had a really bad day yesterday, and knowing you're not the only one. There's other people who have bad days, but then also like celebrating the wins. So it's awesome. And I cannot wait. I can't wait to sign up again. And I signed up for more mornings because after the class ended, I was so scared
that you're going to fall off the wagon.
Yes, I was so scared. I was like, oh shoot, this class is ending. Like I need more time. So I'm now doing more mornings, and I'll definitely sign up for the next one. So I hope to see everyone there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I will tell you that, Lindsay is a millennial, and I'm a Gen Xer, right? And I don't care if you're from the greatest generation, which would be World War II age, right? Everybody from the millennial to the greatest generation can improve their lives through 30 mornings. I don't want this entire episode to sound like an ad for 30 mornings. I really don't. This is much more about Lindsay and Lindsay's success and how she took it upon herself to attend every session and change her own life. Can you change your life in 30 mornings? It's like, it's not the class that changed her life. It was Lindsay who changed her life, right? And it's like, yes, you can change your life in 30 days. You can change your life in 30 mornings. And I think the biggest thing is if you don't have a morning ritual, or if you don't have a nightly ritual, you need to strongly consider getting yourself 15 to 20 minutes at night to set your next day up for success. Whether that's your to-do list, your clothes, you're looking at the weather, looking at your car, whatever it may be to get ready. And also look at your morning ritual. Is it you wake up at the last moment and it is a chaos-filled day with decision fatigue? Decision fatigue is just the more decisions you make, the worse decisions you make. It's why people yell at their spouse at night when somebody says, hey, what do you want for dinner? And it's like, just fix me something, right? That person has suffered from decision fatigue and no longer wants to make any decisions. So, the way to eliminate that, or at least decrease it, is by pre-deciding, making all your decisions proactively instead of reactively. And typically proactive decisions are much better than reactive decisions. So, Lindsay, I just want to say thank you so much for being our guest today on Referrals Podcast. You knocked it out of the park. You're glowing. You're full of life. It's joie de vivre, right? Is that what it is? There's a French saying for joy of life. And like, I've never said it before today, obviously, but that's what I see in you. And I'm just so excited about what happened and what you did through 30 mornings. I'm proud of Polly and Angela, and I'm really proud of you. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you. And thank you so much for putting this all together. It's truly been life-changing. So I highly recommend anyone, to sign up, and it's been great. And huge shout out to Lee, obviously, who sent this along to me. She's been a great mentor in my life, and Polly and Angela just being there every step of the way. It's not easy, but it's worth it.
Wow. Good call on that. That's the truth. So thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Referrals Podcast. If you're interested in finding out more about 30 Mornings, you can go to 30mornings.com or 30ams.com. And you can sign up for our next class, which is about 45 days away, probably, depending on when this episode airs. Also, we are having the March Magic Challenge, which is very similar to the 30 Mornings, 30-Day Challenge in that you'll have one little thing that you can do each day of March that will turn into magical referrals for you. They're easy. You can do them in less than 15 minutes. We do have a nice little contest, and we're giving away some great prizes. So check out marchmagicchallenge.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for helping Referrals Podcast pop into the top 100 of all marketing podcasts in the U.S. And we're also getting noticed worldwide, and it's because of you and your listenership and your viewership. If you're on YouTube watching, thank you. If you're listening on Google Play or Stitcher or iTunes, thank you for listening. And otherwise, we will see you in the Generosity Generation group at joingengen.com, joingengen.com. You're invited to join the Generosity Generation, the world's largest group of the most referable people in the world. We appreciate you. Thank you, Lindsay. Have a great one.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you on the next episode of Referrals Podcast. Remember, you are loved.